time we get to jump on to Dr. Baggett. Do you remember that today is the 17th of February 2022 and Lesego Gumbo is traveling go Miss World, so we wish her nothing but all the best blessings from us, RB2. But anyway, let me get to Dr. Baggett. Doctor, morning.
She's definitely going to win.
I also believe so, dog.
Honestly, she's just, she's just the diamond in our country, and so she does everything, and she's polished, and she's just a rare gem. So we wish her all the best, and let's make sure that her liver is also working well. Because we're going to be talking about liver disease, and let's go down, and even the Francistown listeners, I hope they're listening in. We're going to be talking about liver disease. Last week we talked about big things which scared even our presenter here and our host. But we're going to talk about liver disease. The liver is something that actually everybody's frightened of, besides the kidneys, which we'll come to in a later series. But particularly the Chinese have known for thousands of years that the liver is almost, if you like, a bustling city, representing the body and highlighting the liver as a central hub. We know our bodies are complex systems, and the liver plays a really vital role, almost, if you like a silent guardian of our health. And people talk about detoxing therapies and detoxing solutions and potions and lotions, but actually your body has the most powerful detoxing system in itself, and that is the liver. It is a very powerful detoxing system. We're going to talk about what's the liver's main job, how does it detoxify our bodies. People have asked and called in about the bile and why is hala or bile important, and the liver is such a big organ. What are all the different parts of your liver for? So let's just dive in there and talk about what is important in terms of the liver. Do you know what the liver is for?
All I know that it detoxes our what we take in. So
yeah, it does. Absolutely. It's got lots of functions, and lots of chemistry goes on in that liver. So you really got to treat it very well and respect it, because number one, it converts fat into energy. It's a source of energy from the body. The organ is a site for breakdown of protein and amino acids and conversion of glucose and fats and proteins. And it's also responsible for the manufacture of cholesterol, that thing that everybody hears. So if you don't treat this organ well, it is going to cause problems. So it's responsible for giving you energy. It's responsible for mopping up cholesterol. It's responsible for producing cholesterol. And unfortunately, because it's a big reservoir and it's a big organ, things get dumped into it that shouldn't be there. I mean, one of the major issues that we have in terms of rising liver disease is the sort of things that we do to our liver. But we'll come back to that, because we've already started getting questions. But anyway, the liver's main job, therefore, is like the city recycling center. It detoxifies harmful substances. It makes important proteins. It produces bile, which is responsible for digestion. And you asked a question about detoxify. Yes, it acts like a filter, processing poisons from food, medications that you may be taking, and the environment, and neutralizing or sending them out into the gut and into your poo. So that's where bile is important, from your gallbladder or chala. And this is important because bile, that green liquid, actually helps break down fats in your gut, which is those crucial green liquid stuff is important for breaking down some of the crucial nutrients that fat contains, because we need fat in our system, believe it or not. So what stresses the liver the most? Can you guess?
No, I don't know, Doc.
Well, it's the one that we love, or some of us do. It's an overindulgence in alcohol.
I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that because it's so sad.
No problem. And different people can take different amounts, and you've got to learn very soon, if you are somebody who enjoys your glass of wine, when to stop, because overindulgence in alcohol, and of course the things we talk about every week, we talk about sugary drinks, we talk about unhealthy fats like, these processed oils that come from a factory. We talk about canola and soya and sunflower. These are processed oils that have chemistry more than oils in them. Processed foods, we talked about the bread and the rice and the pasta and the palechi and the fresh chips. excessive medications. You may be taking too much of a certain thing and it may damage your liver, and always consult your doctor or your hospital about that. And believe it or not, lack of sleep also overloads the system. So these are things that really stress the liver out. But top of the list is actually alcohol. So, it's really important to get your amounts right. And so how do these affect function? Well, I guess think of traffic jams. The toxins pile up and bile production slows down, and then the vital process gets sluggish. So these are the signs of what happens to their function. And the early signs of liver disease, unfortunately, are really vague. There's fatigue, and there's sometimes a little bit of heartburn or indigestion and loss of appetite, sometimes a little bit of weight loss. But a warning sign that you need to take seriously is yellowing of the skin and the yellowing of the whites of the eye. We call it jaundice. Yellowing of the skin might be harder to see on our skin, whether it's black or brown. It's easier to see on a white skin. But you also have that very funny smell, which you may not know, but we know as doctors, when you smell the breath of somebody who's in liver failure, you know that this is the liver not being able to remove its poisons. The belly begins to cause pain, and there's swelling in your legs and ankles. Your skin becomes, it becomes itchy. There's itchy skin. There's dark urine. The urine is now, the kidneys are trying to flush out some of the toxins. The stool becomes really, really pale, almost sort of like a clay color, because you're not digesting food. And we can actually see that poo actually smells, and I think floats after you flush the toilet pan. It actually floats because there's not enough digestive process going on. So that is the sign. So nausea, vomiting, fatigue, constant tiredness, swelling of your legs, yellowing of the skin. And believe it or not, people come to us when they've seen these things happening for weeks and weeks and months. So take it seriously, it is important. It is important also to understand one of the few things, surprising facts about the livers and is that it actually can regenerate itself. It can actually, it has a unique capacity amongst the organs. So if you cut a piece of liver out, it can actually regenerate itself. It can regrow to a normal size of up to almost 90%. So it's an invincible organ, and the reason why the liver put that there is because it's detoxing and it's manufacturing. It even manufactures vitamins, vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C. It produces blood thinners and blood clotting agents. It's a really, really important organ in the body. So you really got to treat it really, really gently. So people have already started asking questions, and we've got a couple of minutes to answer some of these questions. I think the same old questions. I'm glad we're getting similar audiences. There's not you've likened the liver to a symphony. Yeah, I guess I have. Tell me about the natural support for this symphony. That's very poetic, whoever wrote that in. Well, liver-friendly foods are think colorful. The usual stuff. Fruits and veggies and whole grains and lean protein and manoko, nuts and seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, rich in nutrients that really support your liver health. They're the best things you can take rather than swallowing a vitamin. Take them as naturally as you can. Supplements, people who ask lots of questions about supplements, and there's so many questions about supplements. Remember, with all things to do with supplements, they are there to supplement a healthy diet. They're not there to replace a healthy diet. So don't eat garbage and then take a supplement to detox your liver. It doesn't work like that. But if you want to detox for your liver, besides the things we've talked about, go easy on the alcohol, go easy on the processed foods and the sugar and and that stuff, then there are two things that do come to mind. A natural compound called milk thistle, which you can buy from a health food store, and turmeric, which is that yellow powder we use to, like a spicy powder. It's actually very good for the liver. So those are two things that are important. But remember, supplements are not magic bullets, and they may interact with medication. So talk to your doctor to weigh the benefits and risks. Don't listen to somebody who's not a clinician. There's so many people out there selling all sorts of strange supplements out there with very vague, very, very powerful messages to say this can kill cancer and this can, sort out your blood pressure or your HIV or your, COVID. Please be very careful with people that are not medically qualified that will sell you a supplement. There are a lot of people there that are what I call snake oil merchants. They're just trying to make a quick buck. So be careful about any supplement that you buy that's not been approved by FOMRA or indeed any regulatory agency. The problem with the supplement industry is that it's not regulated as much as it should be, and so people can tell you all sorts of things. And remember, healthy habits incorporate small changes, swapping your sugary drinks for water, adding a daily walk, including more veggies in your meal. People get tired of me saying this, but even for the liver, it's really, really important. So I'm going to stop there because there are questions coming in, but questions from you, Angela.
You know what I wanted to ask, Doc? You know that diseases that gets to, I don't know how to say it, but okay, what are the common diseases of the liver?
That's a good question. Well, I haven't even talked about it. So the common disease of the liver, inflammation of the liver, and inflammation, we call it hepatitis. Whenever a doctor uses itis at the end of something, whether it's cholecystitis, which means inflammation of the gallbladder, hepatitis, hepa is Greek for liver. Hepatitis means inflammation of the liver, and lots of things can cause inflammation of the liver. Infections such as hepatitis B virus, COVID can cause it, HIV can cause it, sexually transmitted disease can cause it, medications can cause it, unusual booties and supplements can cause it. So inflammation of the liver is one common thing. The other disease of the liver, which is not really of the liver, is the gallbladder. That sac that contains that gall or chala can become inflamed, and infections that can cause blockages of the gallbladder, and a lot of pain on the right side. Remember, the liver is on the right side, the right upper side, not the left side. So lots of pain on the right upper side, nausea, vomiting, and then you can actually get gallstones, which are, like hardened cholesterol pebbles, and they sit in there and they eventually block, and they require either keyhole surgery, we take those stones out, or treatment options that can include medication. So remember, this is important. The third one is also liver cancer. Not as common as lung cancer and breast cancer and bowel cancer, but it is a cancer that's common. And one of the common causes of liver cancer in this part of the world is not only hepatitis B viral infection, but also a toxin, believe it or not, called aflatoxin. Aflatoxin is a fungus that grows on manoko. It grows on, or if you're in Francistown, listen as manongo. If you're eating peanuts that have gone fungusy, that fungus is called aflatoxin and can actually go into your liver and poison your liver and can cause issues to do with cancer of the liver. So make sure when you're eating your peanuts that they're dry and they're not moist and they're not fungusy. It's an important issue in terms of gall, in terms of cancer. So that's really important. I've got a couple of questions here that I think we need to leave off on. So here somebody's asked here, what are the 4 warning signs of a damaged liver? We talked about those: yellowing of the skin, belly pain, swelling of the legs, dark urine. So these are really important. Somebody's asked here, can you live without your liver? You can for a while, but not for long, and that's why we look to liver transplants, which is not possible in our country, but a liver transplant is the only answer for somebody whose liver has died, and then there are lots of things that can go wrong if you get a liver transplant, so that's really important. Somebody's asked you, what hormones are released by the liver? There are lots of them. One of the most famous hormone is actually a hormone that people think of as a vitamin, and that's vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually synthesized or manufactured in the liver, and if you don't have a good liver, you may have deficiency in vitamin D, which causes bone issues and a lot of health issues that are important. Lots of other hormones in the body, in the liver, that are being manufactured as well, so that's really important. Any questions you want to go off on before I close off? No, Doc. From my side, I'm good. Okay, so remember, just a take-home message today for those listening out there, because I know a lot of people take supplements for their liver. Please, before you take your supplement, think about the things that will supplement a healthy diet. Stay away from processed foods, reduce your alcohol intake, exercise, reduce your processed carbohydrates and starches, eat lots of fruit and veggies, and then take your supplement if you have to. Those are precautions. If you have nausea, if you have vomiting, if your skin is looking yellow, if your breath is smelling funny, if your eyes look a little bit odd, go and see your doctor, because there are really no home tests that you can do for liver that are accurate. So the doctor will feel your liver, do an ultrasound of the liver, do a blood test of the liver. It's very easy to detect these things and get you to a liver specialist, and we have those in the country, both in the public and the private sector. So listen, prick up your ears, and be careful about this masterful organ that plays a symphony in your body if you allow it to, otherwise it'll go sour. So that's liver, and I was going to end off this week on liver, but people reminded me that we've not talked about the pancreas and the spleen, which I wasn't going to talk about, but since we've had a couple of questions, and that's nice to hear people are listening. We will end off next week on the digestive system by talking about the spleen and the pancreas. What are they? What do they do? Why do they go wrong? And where are they in the body? And what can we do to prevent diseases of the pancreas and the spleen? That's next week at 10:30.
Thank you, Doc. Bye.
Bye.